So this brings us to our last group using gold and silver. I need to mention our Armenian bowl. That's basically a fossilized earth that comes initially from Armenia, although Armenian bowl comes from lots of places other than Armenia. It was used medicinally, but it's also quite important to use as a ground under the gold so that the gold had something to sit on and stick to the canvas or whatever it was you were using. Now, I'm sure we're all used to native minerals, gold and silver. And the gold here, for example, used in the printing, or the calligraphy, I should say, of this version of the Quran, shows out beautifully against the background. And there's a form of use of gold paint. Now, this is gold paint based upon gold flecks in suspension called chrysography. And it was used to highlight the capitals, for example, in many manuscripts. But mostly the gold was hammered flat to form very fine flattened filaments, only about a micron thick. This is an image of a gold leaf worker. And then the gold leaf would be applied onto the manuscript, very specially, sometimes laid on top of a layer of water evacuated so that the gold leaf would rest on the top, then painted over to make it with a brush to make it settle, and then finally burnished, brightened up by rubbing a wolf tooth over the surface of it to give it a nice flat surface. And they were sometimes called shell gold and shell silver because they were mixed up in scallop shells, and this finely ground sort of tailings from the gold industry would be mixed with a medium to allow it then to be painted onto these surfaces. So here we are, we've got some icons. This is where gold has probably been used most sumptuously and as a background. And the important thing that we got here is not just the fact that there's gold leaf on the back of it, but the gold leaf has been tooled in a very special artisanal way to give you distinctive patterns, especially you can see there, look, in order to bring out the foreground. And that's a technique that took place in all sorts of cultures, not just in the Eastern Orthodox, but here, for example, a 1590 screen, all the background is basically gold leaf in squares there.